So I was talking to somebody this past weekend, I think it was. Yeah, it was this weekend. It was Sunday. And today's Wednesday. Yeah, okay. So I was talking to them Sunday, and we were talking about how, because I had saw a sign that said, no, don't pick up hitchhikers. This is a prison area. And it got me thinking about how prisons just let out people who are criminals without rehabilitating them. And it's like, if you're worried about people picking up people who just got out of prison that shouldn't have got out because they haven't been rehabilitated, then why did you let them out in the first place? Like, if you're more worried about picking up a hitchhiker that is an ex-felon or whatever than any other citizen, like, why? Hold on, I gotta plug my car in. What? I gotta start my car so that my phone can charge. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold on. Stop beeping, baby. Thank you. So, basically, I just don't understand. Like, if you why do you let people out of prison without rehabilitating them? That's my thing. And I think the reason is that the for-profit prisons want prisoners to come back to prison so that they can make more money, and prisoners make products, and it's all a business. It's all a business. And I think it shouldn't be a business. America should not support prisons being businesses. We should want to have a better society, and we should want the best for everybody, even the people who commit crimes. And I don't think that people commit crimes before they're evil, which is where we're also split in society, because we have people who are very religious and believe that there's evil in the world, and honestly, people who aren't religious even believe that. And me personally, as someone who was a social work major and now I switched to psychiatry, which is along the same line, I believe that all people deserve dignity and respect, and there's a reason that people act the way they do, and it's not because they're evil. And a lot of people who are told that they're evil, they have all this guilt, and that's why they end up in therapy, because their parents were religious and pushed all this Ten Commandments shit on them and all that, and now they feel guilty all the time, and they have, like, literally, what I say with my therapist is that I'm recovering from Catholic guilt. Like, it's a legit thing. And now if you go on, like, suicidal groups on Facebook and stuff like that, one of the trigger warnings is religion. And I'm not trying to make this a whole thing about religion. This is more about prisons and rehabilitation. But to be honest with you, I think that the way our prisons are the way that they are in America because we are found on Protestantism, which is all about good and evil and punishing the evil and the best for the good people. And I just think that that's just a screwed up way to look at it, because if you're going to say that people... there would be such a gray area if there was good and evil. Like, nobody's gonna be completely good and nobody's gonna be completely evil. We all make unhealthy choices and we all make healthy choices, and people are always doing the best they can with what they have. That is what the social workers believe. That is, like, one of our main things we say. Meet people where they are, and people are doing the best they can with what they have. And that's how we help people in therapy, and that's how people improve their lives, when you're non-judgmental and they can see how they can do the best for themselves and the best for society. Like, people don't want to be unhappy, and people don't want other people to be unhappy, but sometimes, you become a bully in society when you feel powerless. And I'm not saying, that's an excuse for being a bully. It's just that the people who are bullies in the most extreme form, even, they need to be helped. Like, they need to be helped. Even if they do get life in prison, say they're like a mass murderer or something and they have life in prison, they still shouldn't be, I don't believe in the death penalty or suffering in prison. Those people should be able to have their own society of people like them where they can live their life and just be happy and away from our society, but in their own kind of society. They still deserve dignity and respect. They're still human beings. They still have hearts and brains and everything else. And it's just, like, yes, I feel bad for all the victims of everything, but then it's just like, why are we like, oh, well, you victimized this person, so we're gonna victimize you? Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. As far as, like, criminals that aren't murderers who, commit robbery or something like that, I think that, first of all, I think if you commit one crime, you're more likely to commit another crime. And so we need to catch these small offenses while we can. Put the people in prison. Don't treat prison as a punishment. Treat prison as a rehabilitation program where we give people love and respect, and we give them all the things that they never had probably when they were children or even adults. Like, a lot of people, you know, they don't have money, they don't have family, they don't have love and respect and all that, and this person is randomly parked behind my car and it's making me feel claustrophobic a little bit. That was so weird. So anyway, I just think that if we did that, if we treated people with more love and kindness, we wouldn't have so much crime. I think that not every criminal is the same, and not every criminal needs the same thing. But I don't think therapy can ever hurt somebody unless you have a crappy therapist, which is possible. But if you have a good psychiatrist and or therapist, which there are a lot of criminals who need a good psychiatrist, but some people, they just need a good therapist. Not everybody needs to be on medication, but a lot of people also do need to be on medication. It just depends on the person. If we were able to meet people where they are and give them exactly what they needed, we could help them be happy and be members of society that were successful and educated and all of that. And getting to the root of the issue, we could educate people before so that they don't end up being criminals, because most criminals come from an environment where there is poverty and or abuse or something of that nature. And I know people say nurture versus nature, but I don't think nature has very much to do with it. I do agree that like stuff like alcoholism that's a genetic thing. There are a lot of traits that you get down from your ancestors, but there aren't traits that can't be healed. So that's my insight on rehabilitation and the criminal justice system. I think it's more of a criminal injustice system, and I think that it's going to remain that way until I honestly don't know. I think that we're a far way along from that, because there are a lot of religious people in the world, and I don't know. I think religions are starting to get better. Even the Catholic faith, Christians and Catholics alike, they are starting to be more understanding of people, and they can see through their evil. They can see good in people. Like I had a class, Jesuits especially. Oh, I love Jesuit Catholic priests, Jesuit Catholics in general. That's just an order of the Roman Catholic Church. Like Jesuits, Dominicans, Franciscans, etc. The Jesuits are very, very good about understanding the dignity and respect and love that each person needs, and they're able to see through evil, and in their perspective, the evil can turn into good. And in every Christian's belief, well, not every Christian, but most Christians believe that God can turn anything evil into good, and you can always be converted and this and that. It's just that sometimes their conversions are a little they're judgmental conversions, like, oh, you're gay, so we're going to make you straight. And that's a whole nother spiel about religion. So I'm just going to stop it there about how our injustice system needs to be more just, but we're far way away. It's so many different things we need to do. We need to work on rehabilitation and poverty and education and love and respect.